Hello and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Today I'm here with the 24/7 news report. Let's get right into things. DiMarzio claimed that Real Madrid are not interested in signing Richarlison this summer. That's good news for us. I think, it's pretty simple to put it. Richarlison's probably the club's key player. I think he was fantastic in keeping us up in relegation. I think he was one of the only players that, after the season, can leave with his head held high. I think he was fantastic in that final run. I think he did everything he could have done to keep us up. His passion, he's a good goal scorer, he's technically talented. I think keeping Richarlison should be one of the club's biggest goals over the summer, unless an offer comes in that we just can't refuse. But yeah, Real Madrid have just won the Champions League, and congratulations to Real Madrid, congratulations to Carlo Ancelotti. But yeah, to be honest, it did make sense. I don't really think Real Madrid needed Richarlison, and I think it makes a lot of sense that Richarlison is off of the books at PSG, at Real Madrid. There is still other clubs like PSG interested, but we will have to wait to find out more as the days go on. Moving on to another player who has recently left Everton and looks like he's going to be leaving another club. Moise Kean is ready to leave Juventus to find more playing time. PSG and West Ham are interested in him, but first Juventus must pay Everton €28 million. This is a good thing for us. This is from Tutor Sport, which I don't think they're very reliable, but at the same time we do know that Juventus have to pay us the money, and if they want to ship off Moise Kean this summer, I think that would mean they have to pay us the money that they owe us, and then they can then sell him on to maybe West Ham, maybe PSG. More than likely PSG, after how successful Kean was with his loan spell there. I don't know if West Ham would want to take the risk after his failures in the Premier League, but they did pay big money for Nikola Vlasic, who, similarly did fail at Everton. So you never know what you'll see with that. We will hear more about that in the upcoming days, similarly to the Richarlison situation. So now we're going to move on to the little Liverpool Echo section of the video. We're going to go through everything that's come out in the Liverpool Echo over the past few days, and we're going to let you know what I think about it and how reliable I guess it is. Here we go. Yerry Mina's former agent believes the defender could sign a new deal with the club, but has also revealed that a move to Italy could be on the cards. It does look like Yerry Mina's going to be leaving the club. He's too injury prone and he's on big wages, and it looks like the club are trying to get those big earners out if they are able to contribute to a full season. Mina's a fantastic defender in my opinion. He is a top level, not a top level with like Van Dijk and stuff, but he is a centre back that you could rely on, and that I think he could play for a top 6 team. I don't think there's a doubt in that. But his injury problems don't help. He's not consistent enough. He can't play 38 games a season, especially what you'd want out of a defender. With Yerry, you're going to get 20, 25 games a season, and for a centre-back, that's not enough. It offers too much inconsistency at the back. And I think we will see the end of Yerry Mina's time at Everton, which is sad. Yerry's a player I like, that I know a lot of Evertonians like. He's got that, a lot of the players like too. He's got that infectious personality that makes him hard to dislike, but unfortunately that is how this situation does go in football sometimes, and if Yerry can't stay fit, then there probably isn't a future for him at the club. We move on to the next rumour, is that Everton are reportedly considering a move for Argentine striker Valentin Castellanos, who currently plays for New York City EFC, Frank Lampard's former club as a player. I believe it was his last club. Yeah, I believe so. He's currently playing in the MLS for New York City and has caught a lot of eyes while over there. This season, so far, he's got 7 goals and 1 assist in 11 appearances. And last season, he's got 19 goals and 8 assists in 31 appearances. So he's a consistent scorer over in the MLS, and 23, still quite young. It depends on the price. If it's a cheap price, like maybe 10 million or something like that, then I'd be happy to take him in. He's a young player. He can develop. He can adapt to the physicality, and it seems like he's good it seems like his all-round play is quite good. He's not just a goal scorer. He can get involved in the creative side and get assists too. It'd be an interesting move, but like I said, I wouldn't want to be paying more than 15 million for someone out of the MLS unless they were, blowing the league out of the water, getting 25 goals and 20 assists a season. I don't really think the MLS, it's a hard league to judge, to put it simply. But if we move on to a league that's a bit more reliable, Ligue 1, Everton are understood to be one of the sides plotting a move for lens midfielder Czech Doucouré this summer. Doucouré is a very impressive player. He's had a very impressive season, as have a lot of the Lens squad. I believe they finished 7th in Liga, and then at a point were 2nd in the league, I do believe. Players like Jonathan Klaus have really impressed, Seko Fofana, and Doucouré was another one of the players who's really impressed. I think I've seen a lot of clubs are interested. I think I've seen Villa, Wolves, and a few other clubs are interested in his signature. What he is, he's something that Everton would really like, in the fact that he's a high-engine player who's got a lot of ball progressing ability. His 6.26 progressive passes and 6.87 progressive carries both put him in the top 7% of midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. That's something that can translate well to the Premier League. The ability to progress the ball and a high motor is something that I can imagine Frank will want. If it seemed towards the end of the run that he wanted a lot of energy in his midfield, and which is why, he saw players like Doucouré play as much as he did, even if he wasn't as impressive as he was in previous seasons for us. But yeah, Doucouré is one where it is something Everton are crying out for, but at the same time, lots of interest means we're going to have to pay a higher price, and we've fallen into this trap of paying too much money before for players. So it's hard, depending on the price, maybe 20 to 25 million, if we can get him for around that much. Sounds like a good deal for me if we can afford it, and I don't see why we wouldn't get in a player like that. Moving on to a possible outgoing, Rangers have been urged to make a move for Ellis Sims following his successful loan spell at league rivals Hearts. Sims played, I believe he played 21 times for Hearts and scored, I think it was 12 or 13 goals. He was very consistent in his time at Hearts, helped them get to a Scottish Cup final where they did lose 2-0 to Rangers, and then also he was able to help the team grab a top 3 finish. Sims is a player who's probably going to have a lot of interest in over the summer from championship clubs, from other teams in the Scottish League who will want to sign him on a permanent. And I just don't really think he's going to be in Frank Lampard's plans for next season. So if we get offered the right amount of money, it might be a good idea to let Sims go. He is only 21, so he's still young and got a lot of development to go. But you know what it's like with Everton. You'll sit here until you're 24, and then you'll finally get given the chance, or you'll get sold to a championship team. So if the right amount of money comes in, I wouldn't be completely against selling Ellis Sims. And if we stick to the Scottish feel, Steve Clarke has said Patterson was unlucky to get injured because of the talks he'd been having with Frank Lampard. From what Clarke was saying, it sounds like Patterson may have been getting a run in the first team, which is what a lot of Everton fans expected, especially after his performances for Scotland. And Steve Clarke has recently called him up for the Scotland national team. They will be facing Ukraine in a World Cup. I believe it's a playoff game. So he's saying he wants to give Patterson every chance to prove his fitness, which means, if he comes fit, then there is a chance that Patterson will play against Ukraine. So it's quite interesting to see. I think Patterson's a fantastic player, and I think Patterson will be involved in the first team as our starting right back next season. So hopefully he can get fit as soon as possible and can get straight into the starting lineup for next season. And just off what has just recently happened, a host of Premier League clubs recently attended Wembley to watch Levi Colwill. Unfortunately, Huddersfield did lose 1-0, and it was a Levi Colwill own goal. Hopefully for us, that's put some other teams off. I'm really interested in Colwill. I think he's fantastic. Great at progressing the ball out. He's confident. He's willing to go in for a challenge. Very similar to Matt Guay in the season he had for Swansea before getting the move to Crystal Palace. This could be Colwill's move to a Premier League team, and hopefully we can get him. I think he's a fantastic player, a young player, getting to play under Frank Lampard. If we signed him, I don't know what would happen with someone like Godfrey or Keane, because if we did play Colwill and Godfrey, that'd be very young. But then there is also the Tarkowski rumours, and there is also the chance that Lampard tries to play a back 3/back 5. So you'll never know what's going to happen. But having a player like Colwill would be fantastic for the club, and because I think his future's only going upwards, and I do think his future's probably got a lot of England caps in it. So that is where we're going to end things off today. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Please share the video if you can. Follow us on Twitter, and follow me on Twitter at Callum Branham 3. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.